Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion.
Hello once again and welcome to Poetry in Motion Sunday. I'm Craig Lewis and you're watching episode 52. Can you believe it's been a whole year of constant poetry brought to you every Sunday? I've had a lot of feedback and I see that a lot of you are enjoying the poetry and you've been sharing and spreading the word, which I truly appreciate. It encourages me to keep on doing what I do. And without further ado, let's start with my first poem. This one's called Free Spirit. An indulger to the inner yes, sensations as they be, the presence of the abstinence for him a pain to see. His daily mantras, I am free. The days of chains once holding me have been exchanged, I hold the key. Like pottery, I'll mold my future to the shape I'd like to see. From the house I choose to live, to the car I choose to drive, to the color of the lover that I choose to make my bride, to the way I style my hair, to the shoes and clothes I wear, to the way I undermine opinions if you choose to stare. When I'm walking with the one, I choose to have a love affair. For those who speak bad of him, he would say a daily prayer. It would never intervene between his dream and his vision. To words of Martin Luther King, as a teen he would listen. As well as Malcolm X, to turn his cheek was not the mission. A black belt in Kung Fu, creme de la creme of competition. Walking home one night, he put an attacker in submission. And moving on to my second poem, this one's called Humble Pie in the 49er. His arrogance was palpably known. His friends were few, not many did condone. They tell him slow your roll. There was a girl around the way that he tried to cajole. But she was neither keen on his good looks nor his soul, neither the big hat that he would place on his ego. And he was not a fan of people that would tell him no. It proved to be a trait that was with him since a boy. Any time he heard the word, out the pram he'd throw his toys. Absent of a man around to tell him quell the noise. He was spoilt as they come. It seemed to be the way since he was the only son. He'd get away with murder like it was a rule of thumb. Proved not to be the case when his adulthood begun, but in his place by people that weren't trained to tame their tongue. There comes a time when must be humbled, stepping in this concrete jungle, and the moment had come nigh. A sucker for a 49er that would bleed him dry. She disguised this when they met, for her beauty he was weak. He told her where the safe was kept and gave the combo in his sleep. Unwise about this humble pie that she had served him cold. That was the night she cleared the safe and hit the road. And moving on to my third and final poem of the day, this was called He Hustles When It's Lights Off. When the moon appeared, he would come out his hibernation, similar to foxes hunting for their daily bacon. They called him Mr. Night Owl. Through the night he drove his taxi, people from different lifestyles riding in his cab. Through the streets of Bristol, the former Jack the Lad. So what you call the gift of gab, he has this in his arson. His prices were fair, no one would question when he charged them. Often they would tip him like a waiter or a waitress. His company is the first to come up in the yellow pages. He's driven customers with rages, from the average Joe to the famous. With each he strikes a friendship. He's opposite to eccentric, committed driving his temp shift, straight with no night off. He'd fix himself concoctions when he had a cold or dry cough. He hustles through the night while most are sleeping with the lights off. And there you have it, your poetry fix from me for this week. I hope you enjoyed. And until next week, short and sweet. Take care.
Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday poetry in motion. Poetry in motion, Sunday.